Hello everybody, John here with Shooting Tips and Tricks, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of work with the Borescope. Now, as you can see, I got my 45 Raptor out that I built in a previous video, and I'm kind of curious of how the barrel's been holding up. I've got about 250 rounds through it, and most of those were load developments and test loads, a lot of which were rather hot, so I'm curious to see if we're getting any throat erosion or erosion around the gas port or any degradation of the crown. And now for this, I got one of the regular Lyman Borescopes. They're pretty good ones for the money, and it saves paying $800 or more for one of the Hawkeyes. Alright, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, here we go. Got the camera set up on the Borecam here. That's a great little setup here, but I just wish it would record video. It saves having the camera zoomed into the little monitor. But I'll get going here. I'll start out with the muzzle brake here. Let's take a quick look at one of them. Yep, there's one of the passways for the muzzle brake. You can see it's pretty rough from the drilling. Now we'll move back here a little further and we should hit the crown. Yep, there it is. Back up a bit. Alright. You can see these did rather good machining on this one. It's nice and straight. You can get a little mark right there. Not sure what that is. Here, turn the other way here. Yep, got some little bit of powder residue left and some copper fouling in there. Prior to this, the only cleaning I did was running a brush and some oil rag through there to get all the powder residue out. So you're going to see all the copper fouling, and there's a little of both, some powder and copper. Alright, now we'll move this guy in a little further and we'll take a look at the gas port. Alright, let's see how hard it's going to be to find this bugger. It won't be too difficult. You can see a good bit of copper fouling there. You got some machining marks. Now those you have to be careful of when you look at a lot of bores, because some people will actually mistake the alligator cracking for machining marks. And the difference is one is pretty sharp cracks and the other is a little bit more rounded. Alright, so let's move down there a little further. Where is he? Oh, there we go. This guy lined up here. So we got a pretty good chamfer around the inside of this guy. You see there's no throat erosion to speak of there, other than on the tail end here, which that's on the crown end of it. So this direction would be more towards the chamber, and that's pretty typical, because the reason for that is after the bullet passes the hole, it roughs it up some. So on its way past, it leaves a little mark there. Let's see, where the heck did that guy go? There we go. We can get a better look. Yep, there it is. And that's where the erosion is going to start. It's going to move from that end and go back, and then it's going to circumference the hole. You can see there's a fair bit of powder fouling around the crown there. You might even be able to see a few little machining marks. I've got A little bit of the chamfer went up on the rifling there. That's looking pretty good, other than just this tad bit down here. Alright, now we'll move on. It should be coming up on the chambers here pretty soon. Where did that guy go? Oh, there's a good amount of chatter right there. There it is, and a bunch of powder fouling, or not powder, but copper fouling to go with it. Oh, here we go. Alright, there you can see where the rifling's end. I'll take a look around there. Hold still. Damn it. Alright. Yep, there you can see the slope off to the riflings. There's the lead for it. And there's a shelf where the brass will start. You see all the machining marks from the reamer. And it's pretty roughed up here, which is pretty typical for a straight case, because you tend to get a lot more powder fouling going around the casing, so when it expands it hits the inside of the chamber. Go back. A few little tiny pits. And the size is a little bit misleading, so a lot of that is tiny stuff. And here's the end of the chamber here. You have a whole pile of gunk inside of there. And there's one of our lugs. Alright. I think that's about it for this guy. He's looking pretty good. Alright, now before we end this video, I'm going to give you guys a quick look inside of this guy. Now this is a Winchester Model 70 Laredo that I picked up a while back, and I use this gun for my long range shooting. And it's actually one of my previous videos I did here a little while back where I showed the difference in bullet weights. I was actually reloading for this gun. Now, as it stands, this gun has over 1,000 rounds through it. It still shoots right around half MOA or so, which is pretty good for a factory gun, but a lot of that has to do with the reloads as well. And I'm going to take you guys inside of this guy and show you a barrel that's a considerable bit different than the other one. Alright, here are our setup. Now we're going into the action. And we're coming up on the chamber. As you can see on this guy, the chamber is pretty rough from having a lot of rounds put through them. Now we're hitting up on the shoulder here, and there it is. Now we're up on the neck of the chamber. And here's the start of the riflings. There's the throat. You can see it's completely rounded off there. And there's all the alligator cracking I was telling you about earlier. As you can see right here on the throat, you can't even really see any riflings. Move on in there a little further and it's still all chewed up. So now we're getting into some actual riflings. As you can see, the throat on this guy is almost completely burned out. We still have some riflings, but here in the start you can see there's almost no contact with the groove down here. All the fresh copper fouling is up on top of the lands. I'll keep going in here. Now we're starting to hit into a little bit of contact on the groove, but still it's pitting all over from being ran hot. And the whole way through this guy it's like this. You see up on here it's not quite as bad, but it's still pretty bad. As we progress, it'll slowly get a little bit better, and then it'll get worse, because the pattern of decay on barrels is from the throat forward and from the muzzle back. You can see we're getting more contact down in the lands, or not on the lands, but the groove rather, and it's solid contact on the lands there. And now it's starting to get worse again as we progress towards the last half of the barrel. We won't be able to go all the way through because this rod is only about 20 inches and it's a 26-inch barrel. Alright, well, that's about it. I think that's it for this video. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.